Australia's economic recovery is under threat, and the situation is dire. A perfect storm is brewing, with two critical issues highlighting just how dysfunctional things have become. First, the Reserve Bank of Australia, RBA, had been carefully steering the economy through a recovery, gradually lowering interest rates to stimulate growth. However, this cautious approach was abruptly derailed by a surge in electricity prices, driven by a cartel of gas suppliers. This price hike has sent inflation soaring beyond what experts had anticipated, posing a significant risk to the economic recovery. While the overall monthly inflation index remains relatively stable, the spike in energy costs is a clear red flag. It not only threatens to stifle economic growth, but also risks triggering stagflation, a dangerous combination of high inflation and low economic activity. Stagflation can be particularly harmful, as it stifles consumer spending while simultaneously driving up the cost of living. The roots of this energy crisis can be traced back to the global impact of the Ukraine conflict. When the war broke out, gas prices surged worldwide, leading to a ripple effect on electricity costs. Initially, government subsidies helped cushion the blow, but as these supports are phased out, the full brunt of the price increases is now being felt by consumers. But here's where it's controversial. The second major issue is a glaring policy failure. The coalition government is scrambling to develop a domestic gas reserve and integrate gas into the capacity investment scheme. These moves are aimed at quelling internal dissent over net zero emissions targets and challenging the government's energy policies. With the Labour Party set to unveil its 2035 emissions reduction target in the coming weeks, the coalition is preparing to roll out its own gas policy. The goal is to argue for lower energy costs while they continue to grapple with their stance on net zero emissions. During the run-up to the May 3rd election, then opposition leader Peter Dutton proposed establishing a domestic gas reserve on the East Coast. His plan involved forcing additional gas into the domestic market by threatening penalties for exporters. While this would not interfere with long-term export contracts, it would reduce the amount of surplus gas available on international spot markets. The idea was to flood the domestic market with cheap gas, thereby reducing energy and manufacturing costs. However, sources close to the new policy suggest that the retrospective aspect of Dutton's plan, applying to existing wells, will be dropped. Instead, the reserve will be supplied by gas from new or expanded projects. And this is the part most people miss. These future developments, such as the Beetaloo Basin project, are incredibly expensive. As a result, the Liberal National Party, LNP, policy is unlikely to achieve the goal of lowering gas and power prices. This is just madness. The LNP is essentially dismantling its one effective energy policy to appease a gas cartel that is already undermining the economic recovery. By doing so, they are not only failing to address the immediate crisis, but are also setting the stage for long-term economic instability. Australia is at a crossroads, and the decisions made now will have far-reaching consequences. What do you think? Is the LNP's approach misguided, or is there a method to their madness? Share your thoughts in the comments below.